Uh, Speaking of divorce, Lower Decks. I don't know how that's connected.
That was a hell of a segment.
But boy, oh boy, I love that theme song. It feels very Star Trek to me. Picard and Discovery feel very new Star Trek to me, and Picard has the callbacks to Next Generation. The Lower Decks theme song feels like 90s Star Trek. It almost feels like, if you've ever been to Disneyland, that Soaring Over California. It kind of sounds like that, which is not Star Trek at all, but it still reminds me of that. Anyway, I think it's very Star Trek for a new Star Trek theme song. But what do you think, Andre?
I agree. I like the little subtle nods that they give to the TAS beginning in that song. Yes. And then they just run with it. Like, it feels like an adventure. And even though, like, my dad watched it for the first time and we're like howling with laughter watching the ship like fall into a black hole, or like the monster on it, like we're like, oh, they're going to do cool stuff and this ship is going to do fun places. So like, I really like the direction they took with that. I think they combined some of that TAS with Next Generation wonder. So it's a great song.
Yeah. Michael?
Yeah, it's very, to me, the Lower Decks is very reminiscent of Next Generation. I mean, it seems like as much as the animated series kind of reprised the original series theme, it seems to me like Lower Decks kind of reprised the Next Generation theme to a point. Because, I mean, we all know that, Mike McMahon is very much in love with TNG. He wrote like that season 8 TNG book. Based on his tweets and stuff like that. So, but I mean, yeah, it's very, very reminiscent of TNG. It's like they're ready to go. They're ready for whatever these second contact adventures they're going to have are going to be.
They're kind of not ready if you look at the title sequence.
Yeah, that's true.
But the song's great, and that background is perfect. It's their little hallway bedroom.
Yeah.
Beth, what do you think of the Lower Decks theme song, by the way?
I'm kind of along the lines of what Michael and Andre said. I really feel like because it's the second animated series in all of them, it's it is to the original series, to the animated series as Next Gen and Lower Decks. There's obviously a very strong connection between, both of them. The theme song, it's very fun. I think it's meant to be very fun because it's a super fun. I mean, there's a lot of comedy that happens within Star Trek, but most of it is kind of serious and very poignant. And I think the fact that it is a little bit more playful is again reflective of the series, which is very starkly different. I mean, the animated series was not. I don't really think of it as a children's show. I don't think of Lower Decks as a children's show either. It's very adult themed, but it's very fun and it's hilarious. I mean, I was not expecting a Star Trek show that would just make me laugh hysterically for a half an hour every time I watch it. I think the theme song is great. I think it's very fitting, and I love how it ties everything in.
Totally.
TNG and the animated series, absolutely.
What do you think, Bill?
Same thing. I love the playfulness. I love the TAS references in the beginning. It's like so obvious. As soon as I watched my first episode of Lower Decks, I'm like, oh my God! Like I thought they were going to be using some aspects of TAS, and I was very happy to hear that. Then as the theme progresses, and then it gets to that build up, I kind of thought Orville to a certain extent. I hope that's
right. No, it's true.
It's got a very similar feel, but also fitting. It's playful, right? So, and 90s. So yeah, I loved it.
I felt the same thing there. Anne-Marie?
Yeah, it's starting to grow on me a little bit more, but since Orville came out first, and that already kind of stole the thunder of being such a great spoof of a 90s Star Trek theme song like TNG, I kind of wasn't, it took me a while to start liking it a little bit more because I wasn't as impressed with that aspect of it since it had already just been done.
Anne-Marie.
How dare you? Bill and Beth, by the way, your friend, our friend, Mr. John Tufarella of K's on Cards says hello to everybody.
Hey.
Hey, John. What's up, Rhino?
What's up, brother?